Mm. Mm.
I told myself I won't leave the streets alone till I'm flying down 8th Ave, zoning on a cell phone. Mike Vigilante, murdering MCs. A lot of cats out there can't stand me, but who cares? Who gives a fuck? I don't front on no man. So what you cats want? One pull up the front, make it stunted on, stomped out, locked down.
Back for another one. Back again. Late night stream this time. See who all gonna join in. I'm about to just try Triggerman again. I might throw away Fantasy Star, but I gotta admit I don't really have the energy to try to go through that as much tonight. But I'm gonna try Triggerman just see how this goes. My boy Alex said, "What's going on?" Man, I miss old rap. I miss when people were used to just actually rap instead of flex on music. Just making my art. I hear you on that, man. I had seen one of your subscribers had made a video about you a couple of months ago, or maybe it was like last year. He was shouting your channel out. I thought that was pretty cool. He said that that you actually do a lot of anime art. You got a lot of work. That's good, man. I'm glad to hear that. Yep, just in for another one today. Let's try Triggerman. Tell y'all some more little stories. so shit that was coming across my mind just the other day. Oh, that's good. What would you say you prefer as your most your best style of art? Because I remember my roommate James, he was really good at drawing anime style, but I used to want him to kind of want to draw more of a realism type of style. But he was really good at his artwork, though. I will say that. Everybody have their own styles, you know. You like have some that like to draw images of backdrops. Some people like to draw images of people. In fact, not too long ago, I was cleaning this lady's house, and I remember she was an artist. She had all these pictures she had drawn and painted basically like for years all over her walls. I thought that they were like from a professional, but she was more of a backdrop scenery type of painter. She wasn't really necessarily like a sketch artist, more so. But she was good at that shit though. Yeah, that's how James was. He was kind of a mixed style of anime and cartoons. My boy Dan, the one who had played Sosa in the Scarface review, and who played also Mike and Mr. Clean, the little movie I made. His thing was more of a expressionist. He was more of an expressionist cartoonist. Like he would like to draw like a lot of expressions, but he was good at mainly like drawing cartoon panels. He actually used to draw for the college we went to, Georgia Southern, the newspaper ad they called the George Ad. He used to actually draw ads and stuff in there, and like little cartoon bulletins, sort of like the Garfield series, and you know Gilbert, and I could go on a different cartoonists who existed over the years. Even Matt Groening, shit. Cartoonists who existed over the years. Matt Groening, shit. But he was really good at that. It's actually got my file. That's cool. Yeah. It's actually got my file. That's cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. What's the name of that software? Toon Boom. Have you ever used Toon Boom before? It's pretty cool. I think they actually used that to make Family Guy. Toon Boom. Have you ever used Toon Boom before? I think they actually used that to make Family Guy. Gotta do the voice.
Seems you live up to your reputation.
Oh shit. Alright. Alright.
God Montegello called me. The old man's come out of retirement to personally deal with us. He was ready to learn about his son and the trouble you caused him at the casino. He was furious. I think now is a good time for you to reason with him.
It really was. Matter of fact, that's how Marlon Brando died in the fucking movie. Use clip Studio Paint. Oh, that's yeah. It's basically like the standard version of it. I remember my roommate James, he actually torrented the Toon Boom. Alright. Gain entrance into the mansion. Interior. Talk to Don Montegalo. Avoid being spotted. Alright. Let's try this. Oh shit, this again. Let's try this. Fuck. I don't even remember how to zoom in. How do you zoom in? Okay. You don't belong here. You don't belong here. Oh, no shit. Fucking bitch. Alright, now story time. I remember I think I told this story before, you know, with just this one here. But I remember this story before with just this one shit. I remember it was this hold on real quick. This hold on. Oh wow, that's cool. Yeah. Yeah, James had kind of like the same thing, but I don't know how he got it. But I do know he had torrented that Toon Boom Studio. But it's probably about $300 or something like that. It's probably like Sony Vegas Pro. I paid about $300 for that. It's worth probably $5 though. Yeah, but story time. I don't know if you guys probably have seen it before. I know, of course, Dane has seen it, but right here in Georgia, like basically, we have like these sewer like areas where it's like they'll be gated off, but you'll see like a little pond that's around it, and you'll see you'll see like this tall like tower looking thing, and it has like a manhole cover on it. I wish I had a picture of it right now. I got a picture of it on my phone, but I'll have to like show it on the screen right now. But if you've seen it before, you will know what I'm talking about. Like, I don't know how it is in other states, but I know here in Georgia, it's like if you look somewhere sometimes like, by a certain area, you will see like a fenced off area, and then it will be like this tall tower, and it will be like a little like sewer like area where like so wastewater would be at. I don't know what that area is called. But anyway, I remember in my neighborhood growing up, we had one of those in our neighborhood. And it was always by my friend Lee's house, the same friend I told y'all about who had knew that girl Satania, who pretty much raped me. But I remember we would always like go by his house. We always wanted to know what was over there. And I remember one time, we were just curious. We had ended up sneaking behind this little fenced off area, and we made our way back there, like where the sewer thing was. We actually were inside that thing. And dude, like, I don't know why, but when we discovered this, we always used to just go back there and hang out. Like this was like before like a lot of like vegetation growth had grew in our neighborhood, so we were able to kind of go back there a lot during this time. And I remember we used to be back there wrestling and hanging out, really doing shit we shouldn't have been doing. And I remember we actually went inside. I wish you guys could see this tower thing I'm talking about. But we actually went inside that thing, and it's basically like a long dark tunnel, and it's like kind of like a little river that they basically have to like spread your legs in between, and you have to walk like with your legs spread it, because this river is in between your legs. And that's kind of how this thing is. It probably had rats running through it and all kind of shit, but we didn't give a damn at that time. But we used to like go down this thing, and it was so dark you had to use a flashlight to see, or you would just have to see the with the sunlight at the end of the tunnel. And I'm not gonna lie, I remember the further you went down this tunnel, the deeper that water had got, to where you kind of had to walk on the sides, but you could still see outside because you saw it was like the end. It was like sunlight, because basically the tunnel ended. And I remember once you reached the end of that tunnel, it was like a ladder you had to climb all the way up. I remember, and once you climbed it up, you could see basically the whole neighborhood from behind my friend Lee's house. And it was like you basically were back there where a bunch of snakes and grass and shit that was just covered everywhere. And basically this area was fenced off because the county had fenced it off, because they didn't want people going back there. And like I said, I think it had something to do with like, maybe like some type of like sewer drain off or something. But I remember one day we were back there playing this shit, and basically whoever went all the way down at the end of that tunnel usually was the person that was the most ballsiest. And I remember my friend Lil Mike, who actually stayed next to the tunnel. One day, when he had found out, he saw we used to go back there. He actually went back there and discovered it. And we told him, we was like, bro, we bet you won't climb up that ladder, so you can see what's going on up there. And I think we had we had bet him. We said, bro, we bet you won't climb off that ladder and jump all the way down, because it was a long jump, like to drop all the way down. And I think one day we had bet him to do that. And I remember Lil Mike climbed up that fucking ladder. I remember I was like halfway down that tunnel, so I was looking and seeing what was going on. He slipped on the ladder and fell all the way down and fucking cracked his shit. He didn't fall on his head, thank God, because I mean he probably could have died that day. I'm not gonna lie. But I remember we was like, whoa, like this man fucking fell like I wish y'all could see how tall these like ladders are inside this sewer thing. Like it's tall as fuck. He fell all the way down and cracked his shit. We was like, oh shit, I think he fell on his arm. And I remember we had to let him out, and we had got the hell up out of there. And I remember that was like one of the last times I went back there to that area. He never went back there again. And I remember, I think it was about a couple of months later, it was fenced off. And I don't know why. I was just thinking about this story because it had me thinking about the year 2001 and 2002 when I was telling y'all about the Venus flytrapper. And I remember that shit had happened over there. Man, that story was crazy. I'm gonna tell y'all another one too. Give me a second. I think this was in 2002. I want to say. So I had to be. This was 2002. I was 11 years old. This next story finna be funny. So I had to be. This was 2002. I was 11 years old. This next story finna be funny. Got him. Boy, that was a good shot. Boy, that was a good shot. Yeah. Yeah, we actually went inside that fucking thing. Like, dang, I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about, Alex. I don't know if you probably. I'm gonna show you a picture of this because I see one every day when I go clean the little banks. I clean up the street for me. It's like we used to have these things in our neighborhood, and to get to them, I think the county set up a certain like line where where they know you had to go a certain route to get back there to access it. Because I think like if it was like a lot of sewage runoff or stuff. You had to go back there and change it. And I don't remember smelling back there. That's the thing about it. It was like we had a creek where this area was, and the creek kind of led off to this area, and then it was like a little small lake that it had kind of like created. But it never smelled back there. I don't remember seeing no rats back there. I don't remember seeing no snakes back there. But that's not to say it wasn't rats in the neighborhood. That guy DZ Montana who joins my chat, I remember he had a cat named Chappie. And every time we used to go through his yard, it would always be a bunch of dead rats in the yard. And we used to be like, where the hell did these fucking rats come from? And they probably were coming from over there, where that creek was. But yeah, like that shit was crazy. Yeah, that guy Mike, yeah, he was lucky to be alive that day. I'm not gonna lie, we were so crazy back then. We were just exploring shit. But this creek area, this sewage, usually the people that went back there were the ones that had the most balls. And I remember that was usually me, my brother, my boy DZ Montana, and that usually was about it. We were the only ones that had that usually wanted to see what was back there. My boy DZ Montana, and that usually was about it. We were the only ones that usually wanted to see what was back there. What? The fuck is he not dead? Damn. What the fuck? The fuck is he not dead? Yeah, I remember we also used to do the abandoned houses. Also, I forgot to tell y'all this story. When my neighborhood was first built, these were like brand new houses. And when I moved in my neighborhood, all the houses weren't built yet. So we literally used to be in the neighborhood walking around playing and stuff, and it was nothing but dirt. Matter of fact, this same creek area where I told y'all this abandoned like sewer area was, it used to be literally dirt in that area when I first moved to this neighborhood. This was in like 1997, and I remember it literally being dirt because I remember being outside on my bike, and we used to be over there playing, with like little tadpoles and stuff where that creek was. Now over there, it literally looks like a jungle. It literally looks like the Amazon rainforest in that area. But I remember when it was pure dirt when I first moved in this neighborhood. But anyway, during this time, everybody's houses weren't built yet, so we literally used to play hide and go seek in people's houses. Like at this time, I gotta pause it for this. At this time, I remember everybody's houses weren't built, so what we used to do was like literally like let's say like you know when you see like the foundation of somebody's house and then like you'll see like the wooden frame structure and then they won't even have the siding or any of that stuff developed yet. We used to be playing hide and go seek inside the houses like that, and even to the point where, see, this was like back in the 90s. So this was like before they, this was before 9/11. So this was before they had video cameras out, and we were all being watched. Every little bitty thing we doing. Like I remember life wasn't really like that in the 90s. We used to kind of do what we wanted. But at this time when the houses were being developed, people literally would have like the whole fully house developed in our neighborhood, and the doors would be unlocked. I mean, for days. Like, I guess the contractors would be finishing up the project, and they probably would need like a punch team to go in there and do the little final work. And I guess at that time they weren't using lock boxes on the doors, like I was showing y'all in those cleaning videos I was doing. I guess they were just leaving the doors unlocked, because I remember we literally used to go in my friend Brandon's house, who eventually moved in there. We used to go inside his house. We literally just used to walk in there. We used to hop in through the windows and stuff, and we'd be in there playing hide and go seek. I remember we were doing this in like 97, 1998, and yeah, I remember we used to be doing this shit for like weeks until eventually they had sold those houses and people started to move in there. But I never forget, we had a friend we used to call Goat. And Goat was like way older than me. Like this nigga was like 10 years older than me. He was like older than my friend G and my friend Lee too. The one I was telling y'all about was Tanya. But I remember Goat. We used to play hide and go seek with Goat because he stayed on that same street. And I never forget one day we were playing, and we were just like, somebody was chasing him, and we used to dare each other like to see like who could do the most daredevil type of shit. He always was like trying to do something. And I remember when I was inside the house, I would jump down from like the upstairs of the house to the downstairs. And you used to be able to do that because the walls and stuff weren't like structured yet. So we would do like little stuff like that, crazy ass stuff inside these undeveloped houses. And Goat was like, man, y'all watch this. And I remember one time we were playing hide and go seek, and somebody had almost got him. And I just remember I had already got caught, and I was just sitting outside like, damn, I wonder if they about to catch that boy Goat. Next, I heard a whole bunch of rumbling and scumbling. I saw this dude go. I don't know who the fuck he was. He turned into fucking Vince Carter or somebody. But this dude literally jumped from one window in a house, and the houses were spread it out pretty far. This dude literally jumped from one window to a whole nother window and kept running. I wish I could show y'all how spread it apart these houses are. And I'll never forget, this man jumped from one window to another. He was like, somebody, I guess, dared him to do it. This nigga did it. I said, whoa, like, this dude is something else, man. Like, he could have died that day. Like, he literally, I wish I could show y'all this. I just remember this image. He jumped literally from, just imagine being at somebody's house and them jumping from one window of somebody's house inside another window. And literally, he kept running. Like, nothing even happened. That shit was like some parkour shit. I've never seen nothing like that in my life since. I've never seen nothing like that in my life since. I got another story for y'all. Like in my neighborhood, like I said, we always were there exploring stuff. It was always it's something to explore. So it was also in the beginning of my neighborhood. It was like this other little area where they had like a sewage runoff as well. But the way you got to this thing, you had to go through like some Fantasy Star shit. It was like this big ass like wooden fenced off area, and it had a whole bunch of like trees that covered it. But you could sneak inside the entrance because there was a little bitty gap right there in the beginning of where the street had started at. It was like a little bitty gap where the fences were. But you would be like in this whole like forest of trees, and it was dark back there too, especially when it got nighttime. You couldn't see anything back there. So, but nobody ever used to go back here. But just like really, our neighborhood was like the earth and like the early ancient times. Like it was like everybody didn't really explore every part of our neighborhood, and we wanted to explore like every part. We wanted to see where the creek had led to, like where the sewers led to. We were always just going through the neighborhood trying to see that type of stuff. And we always used to dare each other because we would see this fenced off area. We always used to dare each other like, bro, I bet you won't go back there. Me and my brother used to always dare our friends, like, bro, I bet you won't go back there. They'd be like, man, hell no, I don't know what's back there. Like, y'all tripping. And this was after we had explored that sewer shit I was telling y'all about. Like, after we did that, because we kind of had, wanted to see what else we could explore, but but we had wanted to explore it. But in this area, I remember, the only thing we knew about this area, basically about, this was like when I was about maybe like 6 years old. This was like in the 90s. But I had this fine ass neighbor. Her name was Shay. But Shay was like 10 years older than me. And I remember like when they one night they were this was in like probably 1997, 98. One night they were out doing something, her and her friends, and they had ended up like crashing the car right through this fence. I remember where this area was. They had ended up like crashing this car right through this fence and damn near into somebody's living room. I don't know how they got out of that situation or whatnot, but this was like one of the first like crazy events I remember that happened in my neighborhood. But I remember this area. I remember was where it was, and one day this was like, I remember in the fall of like 2001, because I remember it was cold around this time of the year, and this was like right after 9/11 happened. I remember, so I remember I just remember it was cold, and it was on a Saturday, and we was just like, man, you know what, fuck it, like, man, I'm about to go back there and see what's going on. I think that's what my brother had said. I remember my brother was always the one to like try to pop stuff off and do something crazy. He was always like the daredevil, and then by him doing it, because he my brother, it's like, well, shit, I got to go on and do it too. Fuck it. So I remember one day it was me, him, DZ Montana. I want to say our friend Vernon was with us that day, or maybe our friend Carlton. I think, yeah, Carlton was there too. But we were out there chilling. We said, all right, fuck it, we finna go back there and see what it is. And we cut back through this little yard. It's fucking spider webs and black widows all over the place, and spiny ass vines and shit that we got to sit here and navigate through and shit. And we finally get through all this shit, and then finally it was like this big ass like sewer area. You could like walk. It was like, once again, like that tunnel I was telling y'all about. It was a dark ass tunnel, and it was a big ass like sewer area. You could walk straight in. And but like before you got inside that tunnel, it was like a flat ground. And I remember, like, we used to be back there wrestling and back there playing around and stuff, because you couldn't hear or see nothing back there. It was like, literally nothing but like just leaves and trees and stuff. So we were just back there playing around and stuff, and and that kind of used to be our little chill and our little hideout spot. Like, whenever people did, we wanted to get away from folks and stuff. And I remember, this little tunnel, we actually had explored that and went all the way down. It just basically led to nothing. I remember at the time I was thinking I was going to end up in somebody's living room. But shit. I remember one day we were back there doing stuff, and I remember I just started, like, because I remember they used to, my brother and DZ used to always go back there, and I used to be like, all right, one day something is gonna happen. Like, I just always used to have this gut feeling, like, one day something's gonna happen back there that's not gonna be cool. Man, one day I had got home from school. This was, I remember, like in early 2002. I just remember it was in the winter time. And I remember, because I was going to elementary school with my mom at that time, and she was of course, the one driving. So I got home like late in the evenings, and my brother was the first one home by himself. And I remember, man, we had pulled in the neighborhood, y'all. We had saw like the fucking fire department. We saw like 2 ambulance trucks over there, fire department trucks over there. And they were over there in that same area where that fence was. Like, it's like, as soon as you pulled in my neighborhood, once you turn left, you can either go to my house, or if you turn right, you'll be in that area where that fence was, and go towards my friend Detrick's house, who had stayed nearby there too. And he used to go back there and explore it. And I saw that, once I saw that fire truck back there, I was like, oh man, I know something. These niggas done did something. I remember as soon as I had got in the house, I remember I saw my brother was already home, and I already knew, like, if he ain't outside, I know that it had something to do with that shit over there. And I remember I asked him, I don't think to this day my mom even knew he had anything to do with that shit. But I remember I had asked, I was like, bro, what the hell happened? Like, I know y'all did something over there. Man, that man had told me it was him, DZ Montana, and our friend Detrick. And they were back there. They were back there like lighting matches, cause mind you, it's all dry leaves. It was in the winter time. It was a dry winter, I remember. and they were back there like lighting matches, I guess, just playing around on that little flat area I was telling y'all about. And they had, I think Detrick or somebody had lit a match, and it got out of control, and I guess they were trying to like put it out, and I don't remember who it was in particular, but I just remember hearing that somebody had poured some Sprite on the fucking fire. And the shit had like got out of control, and like literally, like, just it was burning up everything, like the whole area was like on fire. And they told me they made it seem like it was like some Resident Evil shit, like they were running out of that little area I was telling you about, going through all these vines and shit, and finally jumped out the little part where the fence was, and there was a big explosion behind them. They were making it seem like that. And what's crazy is when I saw it, I believed them, because like the whole shit back there was like burnt. It was like crisp. Like it was like the whole area back there was like black. All the trees was like damn near burnt to the ground. Like literally, it was black. I remember, and we never really went back there too much after that. I went when I went by my neighborhood not too long ago. I saw that area was still black to this day, and it had me thinking, because I'm like, damn, that happened. That was like almost 20 years ago now. But man, that shit was funny as hell. They was making it seem like when that shit was on fire and they were running, the fire was like literally chasing them until they jumped out of the fence. And they got the hell up out of there and just left that shit there. And I guess that one of my neighbors probably called them on the fire department, and they had to come put that shit out. But man, that shit was funny as hell. They told me that shit. Yeah, Riverdale really was like a 90s JRPG. It really was. Like, man, we used to be having fun in that neighborhood, just exploring shit. You lit a match and toss it in the toilet. Oh my god, damn, that sucks. Oh my god, I never forget that. But I just always used to have that gut feeling though, like, man, this area just seems too good to be true. And then I didn't like the fact that all those trees was back there, and that the only way to get in that damn area, it was only one way in and one way out, and that's what used to kind of freak me out about it. And it was ironic how they say it caught on fire back there, because it was a dry, like I said, it was a dry winter. It was all leaves back there and trees, so that fire, I'm pretty sure, spread it pretty fast. So they had to get the hell out of there, you know. Especially when I heard somebody pour some fucking Sprite on the fire. I'm like, what idiot fucking did that? So they had to get the hell out of there. Don't Sprite. I'm like, that's not gonna help put out no fire. That's not gonna help put out no fire. I'll tell y'all another story. Really, since I'm thinking about fires, it's like I kind of had a lot of instances with fires in my life, I guess. Like my grandma's house actually had burnt down on my brother's birthday. My grandma's house actually had literally burnt to the ground. It was like some type of faulty wiring or something that happened. And then, while it happened, like, you know, my cousin and her were in the house, and they didn't even know what was going on. But it was some random guy, they said, that had came and told them, you know, hey, you know, y'all know the house is on fire because this is down in the country. And, you know, they didn't know who this guy was. They didn't know anything about him. He got them out of that house, and they never had seen this dude again. I'm like, I don't know if that was like some unsolved mystery shit, you know, and this dude was like an angel or what, but that house literally was burnt to the ground. This was a house that I grew up in, basically. And yeah, that was my grandma's house. That shit literally burnt to the ground. And what was crazy is on that same property, about 20 years before I was born, because that house was built actually the year I was born, and it burnt when I was 15. That was in 2006 when I had to move to Statesboro. But I know 20 years before I was born, my mom had told me that it was another house by where my aunt Babu's house was, where her trailer was, and there was a guy that lived there named Joshua, they had called him, and I guess he was like a friend of our family, because, you know, it's on our land, and you know, we got 82 acres of land and property down there. But I guess on that property, he had his little house down there, and my mom said that she remembered when she was a kid, she was about like 12, that this this guy had like, I guess had a fire in his house from like a piece of charcoal or something that came out the fireplace, and it ended up like burning the house all the way down to the ground, and he got burned alive in the house and died. And my mom said that happened when she was like 12 on the property, and it was just kind of like a weird thing with fires in my life. Yeah, but this guy actually had died on the property. It's right by my Aunt Babe Boo's house. So like he literally lived right literally when the house burnt down at is literally like 5 feet away for my Aunt Babe Boo's trailer. And actually where that trailer is, where my Aunt Babe Boo where her trailer was, that's where I'm trying to put my trailer at. So it's like every time I go over there in that area, I still see the foundation of where that dude's house was, and you can see the little charred little black marks and stuff. So, and I used to always wonder where that came from. And my mom said, yeah, that dude had a house there, and he got burned alive in it. Wow, you said you were 4 in 2006? Holy shit. It's funny, I actually had the same idea for doing game reviews back then in 2006. And how I remember that, because I remember I had my camera and I was down there filming where the house had burned down and stuff. And at the time I had my camera, I was trying to figure out the game reviewing thing. I was trying to figure out like how YouTube and all that stuff worked. I didn't get into YouTube until about like 2008. But I remember that's when I was trying to figure that out. I was 15 at that time. Jesus Christ. You made me feel old. I'll show my age. Speaking of 2002, let me go back to that year. That's when I was in 6th grade. I was going to a school. Matter of fact, I want you to look this up. It's a school called Point South Middle School in Jonesboro, Georgia. This school is like one of the worst schools in the county. They probably are. I think they still, at the time I went there, they had like a 2 out of 10, like as far as their rating. It's a terrible school. But when I was getting ready to go to 6th grade, I'm not gonna lie, I had already came from going to school with my mom, where I had to be on like pretty much a tight rope, because with my mom being a teacher, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't the best student. I was in class, joking off, roasting every day, having fun, cheating on tests, getting caught. I mean, it was kind of rather embarrassing a few times, for my mom to admit that I was her son for a lot of the stuff I was doing, especially, when she was like literally teaching right across the hall from where my class was, and I got caught cheating on this test one time. Cause like I think I told that story. When one time I remember she was getting all the, it's like when we had a math test every Friday. I basically had all the answers from the math test because she had the curriculum book. So shit, I remember I used to write down the answers for like all the tests and stuff. And I remember one time this girl had snitched on me. She said I saw Chase looking down on the last test, because they kept wondering how he get all these hundreds, like for like 5 straight tests. I had straight hundreds. I'm talking about, I wasn't even trying to like get like 1 or 2 answers wrong. I was like, fuck that, I need straight hundreds on these, because I needed my grades to go up. I said, fuck that. And everybody in the class is wondering, how is Chase getting all these hundreds when before he was just getting B's and C's on these tests? And I remember it was this girl named Cardacia. She had said, I saw him looking down. He was looking at something on the last test. And I remember she got my teacher, Miss Gray, to look at me. Man, I remember I was taking that test that Friday. I was sitting there looking at the answers on my little cheat sheet. Miss Gray had came and got me, pulled that shit to the side. Everybody in the class sitting there looking at me, snickering and laughing. Shit, she had told my mom. I remember my mom didn't say nothing the whole time, like the whole ride. We getting ready to go home. She ain't saying nothing. As soon as she get in there, she called my dad. I remember he started. That was like the only time he would always feel like he was like a parent. Whenever I got in trouble for something, he would always feel like he could start going off. And I mean, he was like, "You idiot! You gonna go in there and be cheating on the test, and your mother is in there. You know how embarrassing that is." And he was going off, and I think my mom had whooped my ass for that shit. But man, I remember my dad had made me like apologize to the class, and have a speech for the class and all that shit. I remember I had to do all that just because I cheated on that damn test. But I remember that happened in 2002. I remember when in the beginning of the school year. I remember after that I said I ain't cheating on no more tests when I'm in this fucking school. I should be straight A's and B's after that. That was in that math shit because I mean we had to take a math test every Friday and they was like shit. If you failed the math test, then you basically had to be retained. I said, oh hell no. Shit. I said I got to get the hell out of here and go to middle school because I was ready to get to Point South Middle School. I was ready to get there and just slack off, which I did. But I also got pretty good grades though. Ready to get to Point South. Slack off, which I did, but I still got pretty good grades. But I remember, yeah, this was 2002. Man, who was this shooting? This was 2002. Man, who was this shooting? Fuck, son of a fuck. Yeah, but this was 02. Yeah. When I got to Point South Middle School, like I said, me and my brother are 2 years apart, so I was going to school with him and that guy Ameen, who's our artist. Like Ameen is he was going a year above me, and my brother was 2 years above me, so I was in 6th grade, he was in 8th grade, so he was getting ready to get out of Point South that year. But but Point South, like I said, this school was pretty much like prison. Like literally, bro. And all my years I went to Point South, out of all the guys I was cool with, all the males I knew, I didn't know one male that didn't get in one known fight in school. Like everybody I knew got in at least one known fight. It's like basically if you didn't fight at this school, you was pretty much going to be destroyed. Like you had to fight. It didn't matter if you was a nerd. It didn't matter if you was a geek. Like none of that mattered. Like everybody I knew from every domain of character fought. Like everybody fought at that school. It didn't matter who you was. Matter of fact, a lot of the guys that they was calling the nerds and geeks, they was the ones that was whipping the most ass in school. From what I remember, they was the ones that was getting in the most fights, winning them too. I mean, winning them against a lot of dudes they was claiming to be street dudes. Like I remember this, but shit, I remember when I was in 6th grade. This was 2002. I remember it was in the beginning of the school year. I remember my brother and what they used to do. They were basically like what we had to do every morning. We had to we had to go in the gym every morning, like and sit in the gym and wait for the bell to ring, and everybody had to go to homeroom. Like this, basically, whenever you got off the bus, you had to go, straight to homeroom. You could go to breakfast and get breakfast, or you could just sit in the gym and wait, basically. And I remember at this time, they were before. This was before the school started getting crazy, and we was on the news like every week from somebody bringing a gun to school and gang fights and all that. So before all that was going on, like we used to all have to sit in the gym in the mornings. And basically, like this is when all the monumental fights happened, all the monumental roast sessions. But mainly, this is when like all the fights used to happen. Like when we were sitting in that gym in the morning, and Jesus Christ, man, I saw so many fights sitting in that damn gym, man. But I remember what my brother and Ameen used to do, because like I said, Ameen stayed fighting like every morning in that gym. He stayed fighting, stayed getting suspended. Matter of fact, I remember one evening we was getting on the bus. I was just like looking and seeing like, bro, what is he doing? I just saw him like swing and just stole. He just had stole somebody and then just had walked on our bus, and I'm like, damn, that happened when I was in 7th grade. I remember, but I remember when I was in 6th grade. I remember him and my brother. What they used to do was like when everybody was getting off the bus, they would like stand right there in the middle of the sidewalk and then try to make folks like walk around them, just really being a bunch of assholes and bullies. You know what I'm saying? And I remember they used to do that shit like in the mornings. And I remember it was one morning, it was a dude in my grade named Travion Hood, and ironically, bro was in my orchestra class, and and I didn't really know him like that, and I ain't really never say nothing to him, and You know what I'm saying? And I ain't know him like that. But I remember on that morning, my brother, I guess that dude Travion, he didn't want to walk around them, and he, ran up to them, was like, man, pretty much like F y'all. And then, but basically, my brother, he was doing that basically to set somebody up so that I could get to fighting with them. Because, like I said, if you went to my school, you had to fight. Like, you couldn't be at this school and not fight. Like, you had to fight. And like I said, everybody from my neighborhood was known for fighting, known for like gang stuff. So it's like you had to fight when you was there. But basically, he did that to provoke him because he knew bro was like my age. So he like, oh shit, he chased age. So shit, I'm about to make him fight my brother. And like I said, I'm already used to fighting, fighting him and niggas older than me. So he like, no, hell no, like Chase gonna have to fight him. And I remember when he had, he was talking shit. And I remember at that time, it was three things you couldn't say to folks. You couldn't call nobody no bitch. You couldn't call nobody a hoe, and you couldn't say yo mama to somebody. And I remember, I think that dude had said yo mama, and I remember my brother was like, shit, bro, I go get my brother to beat your ass. And he was like, shit, go get that nigga then, go get that nigga. And I remember I was sitting in the gym and I was talking to my friends and shit. And I never forget Chaz and Ameen had came in the gym. And Chaz was like, shit, boy, he was like, hey, Chase, this nigga out here talking shit, like, shit, come check this nigga. And I was like, oh, man. And so, goddamn, I get up, and I walk out there, and I see it's him. Like, I was like, shit, nigga, what's up then? Nigga, like, what you had said about that, your mama shit? And bro, like, just out there talking shit, whatever. And I'm like, man, whatever, man, I ain't studying this shit. But next thing you know, like I said, he was in my orchestra class. Bro just was continuously talking shit to me, like every day, like nigga, fuck you, nigga, we could fight right now, like whoop de whoop de whoop. Like I said, this is every day we in orchestra. But he was like I said, he was always known. I think dude was like in like special ed though. I'm not gonna lie. I think he ended up like being like in special ed because he kind of like had like some mental problems. But bro used to be in there talking shit like every fucking day, like up to me, to my homeboy Brandon Leverett, and I remember to our other friend Kevin Chia. He was a Mexican friend we had, but he used to be in there talking shit to him like every day to us, like constantly talking shit to me though, because like I said, he already didn't like that shit my brother had did. And I remember one day like we was just in the hallway and we were just talking shit to each other. He was on a different team than I was, so he was going his way, I was going my way. And we just sitting there pushing each other and shit. And then the teachers had saw us. They like, hey, y'all stop. Y'all stop. Y'all go to class. And then, I had kind of let that shit go. And this was going on for about a cool week. Until I realized, like, I'm going to have to go ahead and just beat this man's ass. Because if I don't do that shit, then it's going to just continue, more and more problems. So I got to go ahead and do this. And I remember I remember goddamn one day, it was on a Friday, we were in orchestra, and we had to go to our general music class, and I had told my friend Brandon Leverett and my friend Kevin, I had told them, I said, look, me and bro, we gonna have to go ahead and get the hooking, so but I didn't want to get suspended from school, so I'm thinking like, man, because I really was more scared of getting in trouble with my mom than anything. I told them, I said, look, like, y'all just kind of like talk to him and just kind of hold him back or whatnot. And then, oh shit. Damn. Man, this game don't never let you concentrate. Damn. This game don't never let you concentrate. Okay. Yeah, but I was telling her, I said, look, like, just hold him, just basically like hold him, like just talk to him so that we could, because the class was like going to the general music room, and basically I was telling them like, look, just get him to kind of like stay back, so when we get to fighting, it ain't like everybody gonna see what's going on like that. But goddamn, they was like, okay, bet. Because they wanted to see the fight, So I remember they had basically like had held him back for a little bit and shit. And I remember I had just ran up on him and policies. And I remember I had just ran up on him. I remember when they had held him back, like for the class and shit. And I remember we were up beside against a brick wall, and it was like an open space area, and it was right there, like where you walk up the stairs, like going to the seventh grade hall. And I remember I had ran up on him. I ain't have no books in my book bag on me or nothing. I was like, shit. And I was like, bro, what's all that shit you was saying? And I had just pushed him, and I remember he pushed me back. As soon as he pushed me back, I had stole him with the right, boop, stole him with the left. And I remember he was wearing some glasses, and I remember he had tried to get up and like try to slam me or some shit like that. I said that was just what I wanted him to do. I had picked him up, like had pushed him off of me, but I really wanted to just box him that day. I ain't want trying to like even wrestle him. I goddamn picked him up, like pushed him off of me, boop, boop. I had hit him with two rights, boop, stole him with that left, and I remember I had knocked his glasses off. And then I remember, like I said, my friend Brandon Leverett, had seen like bro had enough, and he was just like, like bro, that's it. Like he was like, damn, bro, it's like, damn, bro, you had tore him up. And I remember like everybody had ran down. They was there watching that. I remember bitches was, down there, watching the fight and shit like that. Folks that was coming from the band and shit like that was passing by. They was watching the fight. And see, I'm thinking like, damn, like you can't. I was trying to avoid that because I'm like, damn, like usually when everybody be watching, somebody about to get suspended. But at that point, I was just like, man, fuck it. And like I said, I just had stole him a few little times. And I really was trying to, wait for him to come back, but he had already just had enough. So I was just like, man, fuck it. It is what it is. And then I remember we had got into class, and the orchestra teacher was asking. He was like, what happened? I mean, it was this gay dude, and it's nothing against gay people, but I remember this dude was gay. His name was Mr. Sanchez. He's like, what happened? What happened? What is going on? Why were you fighting? Why were you guys fighting? And I mean, he was our orchestra teacher, and I was like, look, man, bro, I've been talking shit all week. He said that your mama shit, and he kind of has been a little bit of disturbance, so I felt like I had to go ahead and fight him, because if I didn't fight him, we were just gonna continue arguing back and forth, and it wasn't gonna go nowhere. And then, ironically, bro was already like talking shit to like my other friends in the class, so he was already somewhat of a troublemaker. So I guess that my teacher had kind of understood it, and I didn't even get suspended. I was so scared he was gonna call my mom and tell my mom about it, and my mom probably wouldn't even tripped about that shit. But that's just how afraid I was of that shit at the time with her. But yeah, I didn't get suspended. I don't even know if he got suspended. Maybe he had ISS or something. But yeah, I remember I did that shit. Like I said, fought him, and it was what it was. It was over with. He never really used to bother me. Actually, me and him got cool after that. And I remember he always would talk shit to everybody else, but he never would fuck with me. Like I said, me and him never really used to have no problems. And that's a shout out to him. Like I said, his name was Travion Hood. But bro, like I said, I never had no problems with him after that. But I remember I had to fight him that day, and it was funny because I remember after that, man, I just started noticing bro was getting after fight and after fight after fight. I'm like, we in the gym every morning. I'm always seeing this dude fighting all the time. And I remember when we got in 8th grade, he had gotten a fight with this dude that was like a Crip name. I think his name was Javier. And dude was supposed to be known to have like hands, you know what I'm saying? And I remember Travion, I remember I saw them get to fighting. And really, from what I saw, it really was about a tie. And if I had to say it, Travion really won that fight, in my opinion. And I remember everybody used to joke. I remember my friend Ray used to joke. He's like, shit, boy, that boy Travion would probably beat your ass now. He was like, that boy Travion probably beat your ass. I was like, shit, I still mop his ass. I remember everybody used to joke about that. Yeah, try to level up. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't. I wasn't always like somebody that was trying to fight like that. But at the end of the day, like I said, I was around gang members. I was around dudes that's fighting, and shooting and shit. So it's like when niggas looking at me, they like, nah, bro, you known for being around them niggas. Like, so you got to fight. I didn't really have no choice, to be honest. But I didn't really fight that much. I will say, like, when we used to fight, we fought in the bathroom. I used to always tell folks like, bro, I ain't trying to be fighting in front of with principals and damn teachers and all that shit looking at. I'm trying to go to the bathroom where there ain't no cameras, ain't nobody gonna be telling or nothing like that. And you know, that was generally how I was trying to do it. And that shit had to stop because you know it started ended up being like you know where niggas was getting in trouble after that. Yeah, man. He couldn't feel pain. He got in fights. That's funny. Yeah, the Javier dude I knew. I remember that dude was like a crip. I thought from what I was told, but I ain't gonna lie. When him and Trevion got the hooking, like I don't know what they got to fighting about, but I ain't gonna lie. Trevion really won that fight. I never forget that. That shit was funny because after that fight happened, everybody was saying like, "Shit, bro, you need to fight Trevion again." Like, I think if y'all fought again, he'll win this time. I'm like, shit, because that was like when we was in eighth grade, and when we fought that time, that was when we was in sixth grade, and they was like they was like saying that they was like, man, shit, bro, y'all need to fight one more time. I was like, man, he studying that nigga, man. Yeah, that everybody was freezing the fight about to break out. Man, I remember when the fight break out at Point South, it was like everybody used to just want to just be around to watch. Everybody just wanted to see who was gonna lose the fight, and I just remember everybody talking about it when you got back to school. That shit used to be funny as hell, man. Man, I seen some of the funniest fights at Point South, bro. Like I said, at our school, we were on the news like damn near every week when I was in eighth grade. Like, we didn't get to go on no field trips. I mean, we did have our prom at least. Shit, we didn't get to do nothing. We was always in trouble. We didn't get to go on no field trips. I mean, we did have our prom at least. We didn't get to do nothing. We was always in trouble. Damn. Damn. And like I said, I didn't want to fight Trevion that day. Shit, I had to fight him because of some shit my brother and them was doing. They was the one that was being assholes, you know. But like I said, you had at Point South, man. It went, you know, you had everybody I knew got in a known fight up there. Like I said, if you wasn't known to fight up there, that you was in trouble. Mainly, you was gonna be in trouble from just getting roasted all the time. Like, I just remember niggas fighting off of getting roasted all day. Niggas just roasting. Be in trouble from just getting roasted all the time. Like, I just remember niggas fighting off of getting roasted all day. Niggas just roasting. You said putting these shirts and bras. Oh man, yo, don't even go to the female fights. Man, I remember one time I was on the bus, and it was this girl I knew named Sasha. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm like, damn, like Sasha look good as hell, bro. She used to have her hair looking all nice. She was thick as hell. I'm like, damn, like Sasha looking nice. I don't remember who it was she had got into a fight with one day. I just remember we were on the bus, and they got to fighting. Man, that girl had to pull and snatch Sasha's wig off. Sasha was bald head. Everybody on the bus had started laughing their ass off, bro. And she was so embarrassed, man. I never forget that, dog. Woo, I never forget that right there. And she was so embarrassed, man. I never forget that, dog. Woo, I never forget that right there. Yeah, if you ever seen a woman get her wig snatched off and she ain't want you to know that, wow, man, you talk about a reality check. Ever seen a woman get her wig snatched off and she ain't want you to know that? Wow, you talk about a reality check. And she ain't want you to know that? Wow. Can't get this fool. I never forget when I saw this dude. He had tried to get the fight in with our teacher, and our teacher had started crying. That was one of the funniest things I think I've ever seen in the world. But looking back on it now as a grown man, I think he was crying because he might have felt bad for the kid. He probably was just thinking like, damn, like you ain't got no dad, and you probably just a lost kid basically. But at the time, I remember I thought that shit was funny as hell because we all thought that he was a bitch. It's like, what you doing crying? Like, you don't steal his ass? If that was me, and that was some little kid trying me, I probably would have stole his ass. I'm not even gonna lie. Alright, you ain't my child. Even if you was, you still to get your ass whooped. You ain't finna try me. Maybe this memory of you getting your ass whooped will make you not ever try no nigga that's like grown or older than you again. Even if you was, you still to get your ass whooped. You ain't finna try me. Maybe this memory of you getting your ass whooped make you not ever try no nigga that's like wrong or older than you again. Damn it. Thank you. Like I was telling y'all about the nerves. I remember my homeboy Donatello Green. He also stayed in my neighborhood Palisades and Detrick too. Detrick was one of the biggest nerds in the world, but both of these dudes will fight you shit off of the slightest little thing. I ain't gonna lie, my boy Donatello will fight anybody off some shit that he ain't like. But man, these some of the coolest dudes in the world. I never forget when Donnie had got to fighting one time with my friend Jeremiah. I don't remember what the issue was about, but both of them, were cool as hell. But I remember one day they was in the bathroom and I remember Donnie and him had got to squaring up. And I remember from what I was told, like Donnie had they say he slipped. I don't know if it was true, but somebody said he had slipped on some pee. He had tried to swing on my friend Jeremiah, but he had slipped on some pee and had fell against the stall. I don't know if that shit was true or not, bro. That's what I was told, bro. Oh my god, that shit was funny, bro. I don't know if that shit was true or not, bro. That's what I was told. He said you had an old white lady as a teacher. Wow. She was madder than you. Sounded like she was horny. Speaking of that, that's got me thinking about a guy that we also I remember I mentioned him in a previous chat, but I remember me 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 and me and Dane that was also in the chat earlier. We had a friend named Will, and and he brought Dane brought something to my attention the other day with him. But he had said to me like, "Oh yeah, you don't remember when Will had told us that he didn't have sex in like 10 years, and this was in 2012 at the time." And I was like, "What?" And then I had to kind of start to think back. I'm like, you know what? I do remember him saying that because I remember we would go over there and be smoking with him, and he'll be telling us all these stories and stuff, how he was trying to like get some pussy. And then I remember yeah, I remember him like he would briefly like be saying little stuff like, "Yeah, man, and damn, I haven't had sex in 10 years." Like he would like say that, and I'm like, "Wait a minute, he didn't just say 10 years, did he?" I'm like, "Dude, why didn't you just go get you a hooker?" And they said, he said so that made a lot of sense. He's like, that hooker probably won't even want to sleep with him because of the smell he used to have in his house. Remember what I told y'all about that cigarette smell and how he got his house covered with shit and all that stuff in his bathroom? Like that's just all I remember. And I just remember this dude used to be so nasty. Like he used to be walking around. This dude would like I would feel so insulted because man, Alice, this man will literally order some pizza. He'll have this delicious ass pizza he will order, but he would go in his kitchen, rinse off one of these nasty ass plates he done had sitting in his sink probably for like the last week, and then try to give you the bowl, or the plate to eat off of. I'm like, no way am I eating on that. I just had to get a paper towel. And then I remember he used to be sitting there scratching his ass and farting. And literally digging up his ass, scratching his ass, and then would try to offer you a piece of pizza without washing his fucking hands, and then would pick up the slice of pizza and then try to hand it to you. No, I don't fucking want that shit, you nasty fucker. I remember that shit. I'm like, this nasty motherfucker. Man, but I remember he did. I remember Dane's right. He didn't have sex in 10 years. And I remember it was this one girl we used to call Norwal. It was this big white girl named Amber. And it was the girl I was telling you about, Laura. It was her friend, I remember. And I remember she used to date this dude named Shaggy, who I remember Dane used to call a dumbass. Because he kind of was a little socially awkward. But I just remember Dade always roasting the shit out of this guy whenever we would always be over there. He would come over and we'd be smoking. And I remember this guy used to always like randomly come over and knock on our door and ask if he could smoke with us, knowing he didn't have no weed. And it would be like randomly. I remember it would be like random as hell. Like it would be like on a Thursday night, everybody would be at home chilling. And then you'll hear a knock on the door. You'd be like, damn, are you expecting somebody? No. Are you expecting somebody? No. You look out the people, you see it's him. You like, dude, like just because you smoked with us that one time, don't mean you could just invite yourself over here all the time to smoke. Like you ain't bringing no money, or no weed over here, no food or nothing. But yeah, I remember he used to date this girl. Amber used to date him, but Amber looked like a Norwal, and I remember Will had actually ate her out. I remember, and she wouldn't even let him fuck. And that was like the most action he said he had, and that was what he used to say. He said that was the most action he had in like 6 years. I remember from literally eating out a fucking Norwal. That was what he used to say. He said that was the most action he had in like 6 years. I remember from literally eating out a fucking Norwal. What? Yes. Fuck, man. Yes. Dude, this shit used to be fucking hilarious. And I just remember Dane roasting him like every single day about this situation. Yes. I'm about to throw in Fantasy Star. I can't do this shit. I remember Dane roasting him like every single day. Cause I didn't believe him. I'm like, Will, because I didn't really want to like ask him. You know, it's like you don't want to just verbally just ask somebody some shit like that. But I used to really wonder. I'm like, Will, you ain't had sex in 10 years? I'm like, dude, at the time, I was 21. This was 2012, so I was 21. Will, I believe, was like 25, 26 at that time. So I'm like, dude, if you ain't had sex in that long, that means that last time you had sex was when you lost your virginity. Like, Jesus. So I'm like, wow, like, but it's like Dane said, he probably couldn't have sex like that because the smell, like the smell of him was just so pungent of cigarettes and just bad odors. But I just will never forget. I felt so disrespected when he used to do that. This dude used to get the best pizzas in the world, and then will offer you the fucking slice without washing his goddamn hands after he was fucking farting and scratching his ass all day. I'm like, man, like, you, dude, you were so lucky you got that Retro Legends pack, because I could not sit over here to stand this shit for any second longer. And I remember our roommate James, he always used to have like this weird awkward laugh, like whenever it's like he never really was like somebody who would like laugh aloud like that. He always would have like this awkward laugh, like he would go like whoo, whoo, whoo. He would go whoo, whoo, whoo. And it was like this deep, like monotone laugh that he used to have. It was almost like evil. And I remember whenever he used to really laugh about something, he'd go but I remember like we always used to like talk about his laugh. And I remember whenever James used to go over there to Will's spot, like James used to never sit down. And I just remember he always was being over there, and him always like being halfway asleep and just like literally waiting to just go doing that laugh because he would like be standing up because he never used to want to sit down on his nasty couch. Because I remember whenever you got up from his couch, like it would always smell like strong cigarette smoke. Oh man, I remember that shit. I remember it was this girl. I can't remember that girl's name, but it was this girl that always used to be over at his apartment, and they used to just be over there just smoking cigarettes away. So I guess she didn't mind the smell of it. But I remember she used to always hang out with him and stuff, but he used to always act like he was gonna try to have sex with her and stuff, but never did, never got close. And I think that she probably was just over there just smoking his weed because he used to sell weed. Dirty people don't even get sloppy seconds. He didn't even get seconds. He didn't even get a plate. He didn't even get a plate. Sloppy seconds. He didn't even get seconds. He didn't even get a plate. Oh my god! I wish you could have seen this girl he ate out though. Jesus Christ! I'm talking about an actual narwhal. And he was so happy when he did it. That's what I remember. He was like, "Dude, like I finally did it." Like, because I was sitting here thinking that he fucked her or something. I'm like, no, that guy. He was like, man, dude, like he was like, yeah, like I fucking had ate her out. He was like, dude, like that pussy was like. He's like, dude, that pussy. He was like, dude, that pussy was so like wet, dude. Like, oh my god, like. He was like, but then I was trying to fuck. He was like, I was trying to fuck and I had got so close. I just remember him saying, I just remember him going like, man, dude, I got so close. And she didn't want to fuck me because she got a boyfriend. Like I said, I guess she was dating that dude, Shaggy or whatever. He was like, oh, she got a boyfriend. I was like, oh yeah, okay, Will. I guess you like, I guess you like doing a lot of deep sea fishing, right? Shit. I remember he also tried to he tried to sleep with Laura as well. Laura used to always tell me all the time how he always be trying to sleep with her. That dude Will was fucking hilarious, man. I wish I wish he could have been in this. I wish I could bring him in the chat, man. Dude, 6,000. No, it was another. A matter of fact, God damn it, Dane. I wish he was in the chat right now. He probably just had to jump off. Let me ask him real quick. Matter of fact, God damn it, Dane. I wish he was in the chat right now. He probably just had to jump off. Let me ask him. I remember I remember our friend Dan. It was another Norwal. I remember, and she used to sell weed. I remember, and I just remember getting weed from her. But I just remember this girl always. She was a true Norwal, but it's like for some reason, she was able to, of course, get a lot of black guys. So I just remember always hearing about her. God damn it, I don't remember her name. I think her name was Jessica. I can't remember right now. But I just remember we had told Dan all, because you know we used to always joke about Dan being a virgin and stuff. God damn it, I can't fucking remember. Shit, I can't remember. I just remember she was the true Norwal, and I remember the same thing. I think they told, God damn it, I think Dan, for some reason, did Dan eat her out? I just remember all these big girls getting ate out when I was in Statesboro, and that shit used to be the most atrocious shit I'm thinking I've ever heard. Dude, I've never seen so much desperate measures to try to get sex as I've ever seen when I was living in Statesboro. Never seen so much desperate measures to try to get sex as I've ever seen when I was living in Statesboro. Yeah, man, I remember, dog. Yeah, Norwal number 2. I just remember this girl used to sell weed, and I remember we told Dan, we said, look, like, you at least got to try to clop her. I just remember us joking about that. Because we remember, I'm thinking like, damn, everybody down here in Statesboro done got some pussy except you. Like, it's not that hard, dude. Like, I was getting to the point where I was like, look, I'll buy you a hooker. Like, Jesus Christ, like, fuck something, please, besides your hand. Like, you got the, like, please, man. And I remember we had made a bet, and I remember she came around, and I think it was a joke that Dane said that he couldn't fuck her. And honestly, I didn't even really want that for him, but because I remember it was another girl that Dan was gonna try to get with, and we told him, hey, you know, why don't you try to get her? But it was another dude that ended up getting her because he didn't pursue it quick enough. But yeah, like I just remember yeah, I just remember Dan didn't do it quick enough and all, and there was some other dude that we knew. I think he ended up like sleeping with her or some shit like that. So, but yeah, I just remember this Norwal number 2. I remember a story that they had told us when I guess like he got drunk and he was at a party and they went in the room together or whatnot, and she actually was expecting Dan to fuck. But I guess Dan reneged, and he said somebody he was trying to like caress her, and he had kissed her titties and shit like that. And I just remember how he was trying to caress her and basically like do something romantic with her. And I'm like, dude, you doing that with that fucking blob of fucking jelly? Like, she literally looked like one of these monsters I was attacking on Fantasy Star. You were fucking kissing on her. I'm like, that shit just spun to the left, man. I'm like, you sure you were drunk? Like, you should have got a little bit more drunk for that, man. Well, So he was like kissing on her and stuff like that, and I guess she didn't really think he was gonna go through with it or whatnot. So she ended up like I guess like not leaving the room or whatnot and not doing. I think he said he like penetrated her a few times or something like that, and then he got soft. It was some shit like that happened. Not going through with the sex with her, but man, oh man, that shit was one of the funniest things in the world when they said he was supposed to have sex with her and all. And I was wondering, I'm like, dude, like what happened? Like, so did you clop her? You know, what happened? And yeah, I guess apparently he reneged on it because I remember later they were saying somebody was some black dude that she was fucking, and I was thinking like, damn, I thought Dan was supposed to be fucking her, but she was trying to fuck somebody. I'm like, damn, Dan, like how did you fuck up on that? Well, you know what's funny? He couldn't have suffocated in it because Dan is, like I said, you guys see him in the video in the Scarface video I did. It was him, the white guy. Or you could go and watch that movie that movie Mr. Clean's Dudes on my Sebek Houdini channel. He was the main actor in that movie. It was him. Shit. That was my treat to him. Alright, dude, since you've been in my movie and doing all this stuff, man, we gotta get you some pussy, man. I wish he was here now. Well, he's actually married and all that stuff now, so. But Jesus Christ, I remember Dane used to always say that the first girl that he clopped, he was gonna marry, and God damn it, he was right. Jesus Christ, I remember Dane used to always say that the first girl that he clopped, he was gonna marry. God damn it, he was right. Yeah, man. Oh, man. Yes, Alex, it was. Yeah, he did have a good conclusion. You know, I was rewatching that movie the other day, and I was thinking, like, damn, like, this actually was pretty good. I mean, that was my first film I did. I didn't really know what the hell I was doing. But my writing actually made sense. I mean, but yeah, like I actually was trying to make that movie as PG as possible because I was entering it for a film festival, and then you know they was a real PG type of film festival. But it really was. I really was gonna rate that movie more raw and gritty. Like I said, I'm actually gonna make a Mr. Clean 2, and in Mr. Clean 2, it's gonna be more raw and gritty. What actually is gonna be the plot to that movie is the Mr. Clean character. It might just be centered more so around him, and I might have to end up playing that character actually. But basically, he's gonna like fuck up because remember he ends up getting $10,000, but he ends up fucking up the money and got to go back to being homeless again and shit. But this time he got a baby mama and this child that he got to deal with. Plus his baby mama is with this other dude who always is like he's trying to have conflict with. So he got to be dealing with that along with his financial problems. And it's gonna be even funnier than the first one because it's gonna be more. Basically, it's gonna be less PG like I made that first movie. So with that second one, that shit gonna be funny as hell. I'm gonna work on that shit probably when I get my little settlement and stuff. But it's gonna be coming soon. You'll know when it's coming. Settlement and stuff, but so you'll know when it's coming. Damn, it's already already hit 1 o'clock in the morning. Fucking time be going by fast. Yep. Old clip clop. Yeah, time went way too fast. It did. I mean, shit. I was gonna stream around like 10 o'clock, but I got in kind of late today, so I'm just doing a little late night chat slash stream right now. Yeah, I mean, shit. I was gonna stream around like 10 o'clock, but I got in kind of late today, so I'm just doing a little late chat slash stream. Man, that shit was funny. I really wish y'all could have seen these two Norwals that I'm talking about, dude. For real. And it ain't nothing against bit women. Hell, I like bit women. Shit, I done had several bit women, to be honest. Bit women know how to carry themselves like almost like a little wind up toy. You know, it's like bit women know how to walk a certain way. They know how to carry themselves like grown women. But not like when they like got like 8 damn rolls on each side of their belly and could barely walk, and then like every step that they taking is like painful. Not that kind of big woman, you know. It's a certain level to it. It's a certain level to it. Yeah, like these women I was talking about that I remember in States World, like the girl Amber and the other Leviathan. Yeah, nah, they weren't the kind of big women I'm discussing. Shit, you wind their ass up, they gonna barely even move. They weren't the kind of big women I'm discussing. Shit, they ass up, they gonna barely even move. The Norval and the Leviathan. I was telling him, Dane. I remember when Dan actually. I don't remember what summer that was. I think it was in 2014. But I just remember it was during the time when we were real dry down there, and we actually were buying weed from her, so we were seeing her a little bit more frequently. And I remember one time when she came over there, and I think Jay's cat Tonto, I remember she had bit her one time, and Grease probably had ended up like clogging Tonto's arteries when she did that. But I just remember that had happened, and yeah, I just remember we used to always tell Dan, like, Dan, one day you gonna have to clop her, because I just remember her always coming over there making these sexual innuendos with dudes that she was with and all this, and I was like, shit, Dan might as well try to sleep with her, shit. And I think Dan, and I just remember Dan tried, because I think that Marco had like put him on. They got drunk or something like that. We're in the room, and then I just remember something didn't go right, and next thing you know, he ended up like trying to caress her, and it was like kissing on her and stuff like that. And I just remember thinking in that part of the story, like, why were you doing that for what? And yeah, like I remember it was one story where he was in a room and that happened, and then it was also another story before he had moved in our apartment, before you had moved out, Dane. She had went to his apartment. I remember. I remember this night. I remember she actually was at his apartment. You smell like cheese. Wow, you actually remember that night. See, I can't even remember it. It's just as I was talking, it had just kind of came to my mind. I'm like, wow, I remember that girl was at Dan's apartment. I was like, what was she doing there? And I remember, like, yeah, like it was like a party or something like that. And that happened. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that was. She doing there? And I remember, like, yeah, like, it was like a party or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, that was. Oh, that was fucking hilarious. We were telling him to clap her. Yeah, I remember that. And it was just like I remember he didn't come through. Cause I just remember, like, literally, I had already graduated. You had already graduated. Like, everybody had graduated. And he still hadn't clopped anybody. I was like, damn. Like, how did you go through all them years in Statesboro and not clop once? I don't understand that. And then it's like you said, the first girl he clopped, he married. And it's like you said, the first girl he clocked, he married. You used to always say that, and he actually did it. Used to always say that, and he actually did it. I'm still disappointed at Dan to this day for that. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm disappointed in him for that. I used to tell him, I said, dude, you were in my first project. If you just give me a couple of years, you probably gonna have women coming at you that's gonna know you that I'm probably not even gonna know. Like you gonna have, it's probably still gonna be like that. It's like shit. I haven't even blown up yet. Like you were in my first project, dude. Like you gotta be represented. You gotta be represented a little better than that. He wasn't staying abstinent, Alex. He kind of used to have this mythology, like, well, at first he had this mythology of thinking, like, you know, the girl he was gonna be in a relationship with was gonna be the girl he was gonna have sex with. Then it just got to be a point where he was just like, fuck it, I just need to get some pussy. But whenever the opportunities came, he never used to actually follow through with it. It was several opportunities he had got thrown on. And yeah, like it never just used to happen for him like that. I know one thing, he couldn't be around me now. Shit. Nah, I'll force him to get some pussy. Shit. Nah, I'll force him to get some pussy. I'll have a female just come up to him naked. Shit. He wouldn't have no choice. I'll have a female just come up to him naked. Shit. Damn, you got a lot of HP. This game always breaks the chats. It always makes me get back into gaming when I'm doing the chat. Triggerman is some bullshit. This game always breaks the chats. It always makes me get back into gaming when I'm doing the chat. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, you definitely don't want to just be out here having sex with any female like that. I feel you on that. I mean, I say it like this from my experience. um, you know, you might be with a female. I mean, you might be wearing a condom, but if I say it like this, like a lot of the times, it be more of these males out here that be having STDs and all that shit than they do the females, to be honest. And to be honest, from my experience being here in Atlanta, where it's like the STD capital of the world, it really be more males, and it be really more of these like people that be doing this homosexual stuff that be having these diseases. You know, it really don't be a lot of people I be seeing out here with diseases like that. That's just being honest. That's just from my experience. Even when I was in college, like I don't remember too many people like getting STDs like that. I know a few people that had caught them, but a lot of these folks was having sex raw. Like I said, my main thing is like you don't need to have no raw sex unless you planning on having a child. You ain't planning on having a child, then I would say don't do it. Boom. Yep. But I can never tell a man what to do with his penis, because at the end of the day, I mean, sometimes you don't even have control over your who you gonna have sex with. Sometimes your penis is gonna make that final decision. Sometimes, I mean, that's just being all the way real. Your penis is gonna make that final decision. Sometimes, that's just being all the way real. But as far as being like scared of and concerned about diseases, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like, shit, as many women as I've had sex with, if I were to catch a disease, I should have been caught one. Like I said, as far as like the pregnancy thing and the disease thing, as many women as I know I've nutted in, and as many women I know I've had sex with that condom on, if I hadn't worn a condom, who knows what I would have had. But I don't have nothing. I don't have no symptoms or none of that. So I'm 99% confident in that condom than anything else. Confident in that condom than anything else. Yeah, hell yeah. Like, yeah, your brain will shut off, but I ain't gonna lie. Like, shit, if it shut off, that don't mean that damn condom not gonna be around. So it's just your responsibility to use it, honestly. It's just your responsibility. So I ain't gonna lie. Like I was telling you, with that one girl I was with, Laura. You know, sometimes these women will let you have sex raw, and then they say, you know, when a child is born, they looking at like, oh well, you know, it's just something we gonna have to deal with right now. It is what it is. Like, no, it ain't what it is. I didn't want this child. Shit. So that's why you wear condoms, and that's why you better learn how to pull out. I don't give it. I remember shit. Matter of fact, remember that guy Confused Kelvin, who was in one of my game reviews. I remember he used to always say that that shit that he never used to pull out. I'm like, man, shit, not me. I mean, not to say you can't get a girl pregnant still, but still, like, shit. Like, I gotta goddamn have, you know, some type of insurance for myself. I'm pulling out. But that's not to say I haven't done it with the condom on. I done nutted in plenty of women with that condom on, and it ain't never broke, and it ain't never slid off or did none of that slick ass shit. It stayed where it was, and Yeah, I ain't got no call 9 months later or none of that shit. So I'm 99% sure that you know, wearing a condom will work. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm 99% sure that you know, wearing a condom will work. Shit, I let her put it on. At the end of the day, it's like shit. You know, when you nut, you gonna know when you fucking, you gonna know when that shit start to fall off, because you gonna feel the difference. You gonna notice that you gonna notice that pussy ain't as tight, and it feel a whole lot better, and it feel a whole lot more loose in the whole, and your feeling and your wanting to nut, it just increased a whole lot more. Shit. And you're gonna feel a whole lot more comfortable just nutting. You gonna know when that shit slide off, because it's gonna feel way more comfortable, and you gonna be like, wait a minute, this shit feel a little too good to be true. And that's when you know that shit raw. So you'll know. Damn. Oh. When do y'all start school, Alex? Because I know that everybody's starting school here in Georgia soon. Boom. Boom. Damn, next month in September? Jeez. I'll start school a lot later than down south. Next month in September? I'll start school a lot later than down south. Wow, they actually told y'all that in middle school? That's crazy. I remember when I was in middle school, they always tried to scare us with a whole bunch of like crazy pictures of folks with gonorrhea and fucking syphilis and all that other shit. They even did that when I was in college. I remember my first year in college, I had to take health and all. It was the same shit in there. I'm like, man, this is like middle school all over again. I remember we had to write a report on sets. I remember one time, and I remember in the report, because I had to take that home. I remember one day I was coming home from school, and my mom saw the report that I had wrote, and I just remember in that report I had said, and when I start having sex, I'm gonna know basically what I'm doing, you know, when I'm having sex, essentially. Because I remember they was trying to tell us about condoms and, you know, and all that stuff, and I just remember I was saying that in the paragraph that I wrote, and shit, I got a B on that assignment, so obviously I knew what I was talking about. Saying that in the paragraph that I wrote, shit, I got a B on that assignment, so obviously I knew what I was talking about. Yeah. Yeah, I remember whenever they used to start showing all that shit, I used to be like, look, I ain't even trying to look at this. Like, I'm gonna wear a condom. That's the final grade. Oh, okay. Really, as long as you were in sex health and you agreed to wear a condom, then you should have got an A in the class. Like, that was pretty much the end of the discussion. I don't need to see all that crazy, nasty ass shit, bumps on somebody's damn balls and shit, green pus and shit coming out of somebody's penis. Like, I don't need to see all that shit. I know at the end of the day, if I wear a condom, I ain't gonna have none of this shit happen to me. So I'm straight. Shit coming out of somebody's penis. I don't need to see all this shit. I know this shit happened to me. So hell, I never even knew nobody that even had all that happen to them. And these fools was having raw sex. Some of these folks was having gay sex, and that shit wasn't happening to them. So Thinking shit, if they ain't catching that shit, what the hell I got to worry about?
These schools having raw sex. Some of these schools having gay sex and that shit to them. So
Wow, he said the teacher was oblivious. Must have been one of those old school 80-year-old teachers and shit. Must have been one of those old school 80-year-old teachers and shit. Because they knew damn well what that shit was. I remember I used to hate home ec when I was in middle school. Cause I remember I always thought that it was like the home ec on Saved by the Bell where we were gonna be in there cooking and sewing and doing shit like that. Man, I remember we was in that shit. We would only be doing like modules and taking bullshit tests. We ain't do shit in that damn class. Oh, that class was such a big waste of time. I remember we was in that shit. We would be doing like modules and taking bullshit tests. We ain't do shit in that. Such a big waste of time. Wow, y'all just had a list. Yeah, I remember when I was in middle school, they showed us pictures of that stuff. I remember back on the old school little lamp projector they used to show. Man, they was showing pictures. I remember we had to watch a video of that shit where they was showing, like I said, people that had caught herpes and syphilis and gonorrhea and all that shit. I'm like, man. I'm like, man, what the fuck is this? I'm like, look, man, these people that caught this shit here, they must have been having gay sex. Like, ain't no heterosexual people out here fucking catching no shit like that. I'm like, look, man, these people that caught this shit here, they must have been having gay sex. Like, ain't no heterosexual people out here fucking catching no shit like that. Wow, really? Y'all did all that in home ec? Man, we didn't do shit in home ec. We didn't even bake no fucking muffins in there. We didn't even bake no fucking macaroni and cheese from Walmart. We didn't even cook no damn ramen noodles in that motherfucker. We didn't do shit in that home ec class. I just remember us being in there every day, playing. I remember that game you used to play when you'd be trying to break each other's pencils, and you'll see who got the strongest pencil, and you used to like get your finger and snap on the somebody pencil and try to break it before they break yours. I mean, we used to be in there playing that game and talking about sports all day, man. Wasn't nobody caring nothing about that shit. I took that when I was in 6th grade, and then when my last semester when I was in 8th grade. I got an 8th grade. Like I said, after 6th grade, that's when I knew that class wasn't about shit. Cause like I said, when I first got in there, I thought it was gonna be like Saved by the Bell. But after 6th grade, I was like, man, fuck this class. Like I said, after 6th grade, that's when I knew that class was my shit. I used to be mad every time I got it. I'm like, man, how come I didn't get PE? Cause I always wanted to get PE so I could go play football and basketball. But as soon as I saw I had home ec, I used to be mad as hell. Home ec and health. Matter of fact, that was actually my last 2 classes I think I had was home ec and health. I don't even think I had PE. I was like, man, hell no. Cause PE was the class you wanted to be in. Like, I mean, for one, I wanted to be in there because we used to play basketball all the time. That's all I wanted to do. And then 2, that's when you always saw the best fights. Whoever had PE always saw the best fights. We used to play basketball all the time. That's all I wanted to do. And two, that's when you always saw the best fights. At PE, you always saw the best fights. I remember it was a locker room we had right by the gym. And in that locker room, before they had cameras installed there, man, everybody used to fight in there. It used to be that locker room in the 8th grade locker room. Everybody used to fight in there. Right by the gym. They had cameras installed there, man. Everybody used to fight in there. It used to be that locker room and the 8th grade locker room. Everybody used to fight in there. Matter of fact, when I was trying to fight that dude Travion, I was trying to fight him in the gym locker room because I knew we weren't gonna get caught in there. But we ended up fighting outside that locker room, like literally right outside them double doors. When I was trying to fight that dude Travion, I was trying to fight him in the gym locker room, right by the orchestra room. Get off, god damn it. Difference. I'll just do a little bit of grinding and then probably about to get off of here in a minute and jump on tomorrow. I got a couple of more stories I want to tell tomorrow too, but I just had to tell them stories. Like that was just kind of on my mind when I was thinking about the early 2000s. Like I said, you were saying you were born in 2002. Like I was just thinking about that time. I'm like, damn, I remember this, man. When I was thinking about the 2000s, I missed that time. Like I said, you were saying you were born in 2002. Like I said, man, you talking 2001, 2002. Like I said, post 9. I mean, pre 9/11. I remember life before 9/11. Pre 9/11. I remember life before 9/11. You come out better just sell your merchandise like this. When you make it, and people that's interested in doing it, just tell them to Cash App you. Just create a Cash App for it or a PayPal account. Well, really a Cash App and a PayPal account. You can even create a Square account for that too. And then after you create that account, to block out all those little percentages that these other people will be trying to get, like even with YouTube, when I get monetized, like I said, I'm gonna be accepting some super chats, but most of the money I'm gonna be accepting is gonna be straight Cash App donations. Like I said, I got the $ Scorpio&Sebek Cash App. I already got that set up right now. But basically, you want to just get people to just give you the money through that, and you could just ship and mail the merchandise yourself. That way, you ain't gotta deal with a third party vendor for that. You could just ship that stuff out to them. Just get the mailing address, get a PO box. The PO box ain't nothing but $20 a month. You could use that as the return address, and then just get their address and just ship that stuff out yourself. That way, you'll cut out all that bullshit. That's what I was doing, to be honest, with my merchandise. But I'm not gonna lie, I think right now I'm gonna kind of lay back, because I mean, you know, y'all saw them shirts that I got in my videos. All those shirts y'all see with the lady on the front and all the design and all that stuff, like the Live Your Fantasy shirt and the wristbands and stuff y'all see me wearing, like all that stuff is my merchandise I got. I haven't really like put it on the market and sold it yet, but I mean, for anybody that's interested in me, you know, they can always hit me up, and you know, I could send you you know, some of the shirts and wristbands and stuff like that for cheap. But I don't really have that many shirts right now. I only got like a few of them, but I got a dozen wristbands, a dozen stickers. I need to get a few more shirts made. I got belts that I had made. I got bags that I made. I think I showed the bags in one of my videos. But yeah, if I were you, I would just get that information from people and just ship that stuff out. And you could cut all that stuff out that way. You just get a Cash App. But yeah, if I were you, I would just get that information from people, ship that stuff out. And you cut all that stuff out. Yeah, it does. My stickers actually, I got like how much did I get? I think I got like 100 of them for like $50. To be honest, a lot of that stuff I've been kind of giving away, and I feel like it ain't even really worth trying to sell like that. But the products I am gonna be selling mostly are gonna be the movies and stuff like that. Because what I'm gonna do eventually when I start making these movies, I'm gonna create a Scorpio&Sebek universe website. And basically, what people could do is, you could just donate like $2 and you could watch the movie. It might be a little 45-minute movie like Mr. Clean 2 or the other movies I was talking about. And basically, you could just donate $2 and just watch the movie. If somebody want to buy the little wristbands and little stickers and stuff like that, I could just sell that to them in a package. But yeah, a lot of that stuff I'm probably gonna be like having little contests and little giveaway stuff, where a lot of that stuff I'm gonna be giving away, to be honest, just for some promotional shit. So, but yeah, I feel you on that merchandise though. I actually had DVDs. I made DVDs for the first season, the second season. That was actually back in like 2000 and I want to say 11. When I got my little DVD recorder that I got right now, that's when I remade all my episodes from the first season. I had remade all those episodes, and I had actually created a DVD I was gonna sell. I sold a copy to a guy online one time. This guy named Ultraman 5. I sold him a copy one time, but I actually didn't make a whole bunch of copies of that because I was trying to figure out the DVD software that I had. But I figure, everybody's like watching this stuff for free online. Like the only exclusive content I had was like some of the bloopers that me and Jimmy had. And then I think I had also a bonus episode with NBA Live 10 that I had reviewed back in 2010. I had like a bonus episode that I made back then. But what's crazy is I think I lost that shit because I think I got the disc of it right here. But that was on my old camera that I had. But I don't even know if I still got that DVD no more. What's crazy is whenever I be recording my episodes and stuff, I remember I be looking at my disc and it says Frustrated Game Reviewer Season 1. Because I remember back then that's when I was making a whole bunch of copies of them. But I didn't burn the DVD copy for each one because I remember it was taking long on my computer. That was one, and then two, I didn't have the right DVD software for it, so I didn't really, take it serious like that. But to be honest, I'm gonna just let all my stuff remain digital, and just to save costs with that. Because even with Mr. Clean, I made a DVD with Mr. Clean. I still actually got that. But I'm gonna just let all this stuff be digital. And then eventually when the channel starts growing, I'm almost at 500 subs now. But when the channel gets about at 1,000 subs, and then when I get that Sebek Houdini channel to grow and reach 1,000 subs, I'm just going to monetize all that stuff, to be honest. I ain't even going to lie. I'm going to just monetize all the stuff I'm already doing. And I'm not really going to be selling too much physical stuff like that. Just monetize all the stuff I'm already doing, and I'm not really gonna be selling too much physical stuff. Yeah, somebody out here has it, and I think Jimmy might have a copy because I remember giving Jimmy a DVD copy as well, but I don't know if he still has it though. But I know he might have a copy of it. I think Jimmy might have a copy because I remember giving Jimmy a DVD copy as well, but I don't know if he still has it though. Shit, I might have a copy of it, but I don't know if it probably works. I don't know if I might have a copy of it somewhere. It might be in the in one of my little containers I got. But the good thing about it is, see, I still got all those same episodes from season 1 on the actual channel. So if I ever wanted to make that DVD, I could actually remaster a lot of them episodes and make a DVD out of it if I wanted to. But to be honest, I don't want to do that because a lot of those episodes I really want to redo because some of the audio and visual stuff I would want to change up, but I can't go back and change it because I would have to re-record it. Like I said, the Cap Attack, I really wish I could redo the Cap Attack. And I didn't like the way I did Live 95, because really I like Live 95. That's actually my favorite basketball game of all time. And I also remember I did a Resident Evil 2 walkthrough, but I actually had took that offline because it was like 25 parts to it. And that was actually like one of my first live stream attempts. But I wasn't live streaming, of course, so I had did like a long walkthrough where I'm basically doing like I'm doing now. Except I don't have a live audience. Yeah, but to be honest, I mean, DVDs are kind of like a dying thing. I mean, a lot of people are really like watching stuff on digitally, and everything is digitally produced now, and it's just more cost efficient to just come up with something and create a digital copy of it instead of that DVD thing, because that shit is expensive. You got to pay somebody to do the artwork, then you got to pay somebody to get all those DVD covers made. That costs money. Then you got to get those cases. Then you got to fit them, and they got to be sized the right way. It takes skill to do that. Then on the DVDs, on the actual DVD disc, you got to get that artwork on the disc. That costs money. Then you got to get a certain type of disc. You can't use a regular rewritable or a regular R disc. I don't know what kind of disc they are, to be honest, but you got to use them. I ain't gonna lie, it costs money to create DVDs, especially if ain't nobody gonna be buying them like that. It's like I'm really not about to spend no money on it like that. Then especially if ain't nobody gonna be buying them like that. I learned that from Mr. Clean. I remember shit. Yeah, man, I appreciate that, man. Like I tend to go back and watch a lot of my episodes myself, because like I said, I like to go back and see, how I was thinking at that time and what mistakes I made, what I could be doing better. I like to always try to challenge myself. But yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed that, man, because I really be trying to make those episodes good and memorable. I try to make them more memorable than anything. Those episodes good. I'm actually thinking about putting out another review. I'm thinking about reviewing Pandemonium for PlayStation 1. I'm gonna have to probably buy it and maybe do a review on that. Like I said, I may show it a little bit in the stream, but I think that would be good for a review. Show it a little bit in the stream, but I think that would be good for a review. Yep, my boy Jackass Jimmy. I remember I gave a copy to him. It was a guy named Altoman 5. I remember sending him a copy, and then like I said, that was the only copies I remember burning, because at the time I was just basically like emailing people and letting them know that, hey, like, if you want to get a copy, just let me know and I could send it off to you, because I really wasn't trying to burn that many copies at that time because my computer was so damn slow. But when I did it, I remember I just wrote Frustrated Game Review. I didn't even have a cover on the damn DVD. Shit. I could have at least drew a cover and put a damn piece of printing paper and did some shit like that. I didn't even do that. Shit. I Yeah, but yeah, now I was thinking about the little DVD thing. Yeah, now I'm just going to make all that stuff digital. And like I said, if anybody want to probably get like a physical shirt or a wristband, or if they want to get like I said, some little stickers, or a bag. I got, like I said, I got like little gym bags that I got with Scorpio&Sebek logo and stuff on it. If they want to get something like that, they can always hit me up. I could get that information from them and mail it out to them and stuff and all. But yeah, I ain't gonna be trying to make too much physical stuff like that, because that stuff costs money. That stuff costs money. I spent $500 damn near on my shirts. Yeah, that Page Master was funny in East SWAT. Yeah, which review that I tend to go back and look at it over and over again, and I think to myself, like, you know what? I actually did a really good job on that review. It's that damn Alex Kidd review. I love looking at my Alex Kidd review. That shit was funny as hell. I was a fucking baby in that review. I think I had just turned 20 years old at that time, because that was in December when I did that. So I was only 20 for like maybe about a good month and a half. But yeah, that Alex Kidd was my shit, man. Alex Kidd, that was a good review. Another review, I'm thinking about a recent one I did. Another review I liked that I did was that Bonanza Bros. Bonanza Bros was a good one too. Ironically, I know y'all remember the squealing girl that y'all heard in my chat. She was supposed to be in Bonanza Bros, to be honest. I was supposed to do a duo review where basically it was me and her supposed to be in that review. And I know y'all remember when I had mentioned in that review, like how it's a good 2-player game, and you saw like it was like a second player that was playing. That was actually her playing the game. She and I were supposed to do that review, but she was scared to be on camera, so I said, fuck it, I'm just gonna go in and do it myself. But yeah, she and I were supposed to do that review, but she was scared to be on camera. So yeah, Alex Kidd was my shit, though, man. Yeah, Alex Kidd that was a good review. Yep. Like I said, I remember when we did that. The initial review was supposed to have me, Jimmy, and Chris in it. But like I said, at that time, my door had got kicked in, so we delayed that review. And during that meantime, I had a whole bunch of other reviews I wanted to put out, so I just was putting them out, and I held off on it for about a year. And then that next year, I was like, you know what? It's about time for me to work on Alex Kidd. And then that's when I put it out. It was really literally right after Christmas when I put that out, 2011. That next year, I was like, you know what? It's about time for me to work on Alex Kidd. So I put it out. It was really literally right after Christmas when I put that out, 2011. Hell yeah, like exactly that Xena. Yeah, that I was just alluding to that Xena review. The Xena, yeah, y'all gonna enjoy that Xena one. That one was probably gonna be one of my best reviews. That shit gonna be fire. In fact, I literally got that whole review done right now. The only thing that I need to do with that review, of course, is just film the parts with the female character, like I was telling you about. And then, of course, I got to do the recording, of the narration. But other than that, that's it. I already got the game footage done. I already beat the game. I got all that stuff. It's been on my computer now for damn near 2 years. I got the script written. I got all that stuff done. That review will get done so quickly. But like I said, it's gonna come out when it's time for it. When I find the right person and it's the right time, it's gonna come out, and it's gonna come out well too. That's why I'm gonna just hold off on that. Like I said, that Vice City Stories, when I do that review, because that's also gonna be a classic review. When I do Rambo for NES, that's gonna be a classic. And when I do the Mummy Returns for PlayStation 2 when I do that review. Those are gonna be like some classics I'm gonna have coming. Classics. I mean, in fact, that the Mummy 2 Returns, I'm gonna film that on Tybee Island. I'm gonna film a part of that on Tybee Island, so that review gonna be hard as fuck. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I learned not to rush anything. Like I said, I'm more like the tortoise instead of the hare. I like to kind of just take my time and do things, when the time comes, and you know, just do it like that. Really. I like to kind of just take my time and do things, when the time comes. My hair. I fucking the turban, that shit be drying the shit out of my scalp sometimes. Just like any rag. Yeah. Yeah, but I ain't rushing these reviews. Like I said, I got a lot of hitters just sitting back waiting. They really just waiting on the right opportunity, the right person. When I work with the right person, then I'm gonna put them out. But yeah, I got some hitters waiting. I ain't even gonna lie. And I find it funny because, like I said, I be watching a lot of these people's chats, and a lot of them be trying to say that the game reviewing thing is dead. And I don't believe that. I don't believe it. The game reviewer thing is dead. Like I said, it's a lot of reviewers that's out here that's still doing their thing, and it's just they not being seen like that. So I don't think that's kind of a fair assessment to say that the genre of reviewing is dead when it's a lot of reviewers out there doing their thing, but they don't have the recognition like that. It's a lot of reviewers out there. Yeah, they've become very complacent. I think a lot of these guys, they kind of think that now they could just kind of just put out like a little lazy review here and there, and then that's really about it. Like, they don't have to diversify their content. Yeah, like even with myself, I had told everybody back in April, I said, hey, when I put out this Sergeant's Heroes review, and I remember telling myself that a couple of months ago. I remember I kept saying that when I was working on Sergeant's Heroes. I said, look, I'm finna put out Sergeant's Heroes, and then after that, I'm going live. Like, hey, if anybody want to know what's going on with Scorpio&Sebek, frustrated game reviewer, anything I got going on, you can just join the live streams and find out. But I'm not about to just be putting it out a review every 6 months. But I got to go through all this hell to try to make this shit. I got to be recording this shit. I got to be, like I said, filming myself, doing the commentary. I got to be doing all this fucking editing. And that's the only time that I'll be able to communicate with my subscribers. Like, I don't really believe in that. Like, I'm more of a personal kind of person, and I would rather for people to know what I'm doing on a daily basis and to know who I am as a person instead of just knowing me as a character, the frustrated game reviewer. It's like you only see me basically on a scripted platform, but nobody's seen me, like I said, when it's raw and live like it is now. And nobody, like I said, nobody was able to see me like that for years. So y'all never even really knew who I really was like that. I'm telling y'all all these stories and stuff that I had went through in my childhood and my personal life and my life right now. Y'all see what's going on. So it's like y'all know who I am, So it's a different feeling with with hearing who the frustrated game reviewer, or at least having a relationship and understand who the frustrated game reviewer was, that even when I was making those reviews years ago as opposed to now it's probably seeming like it's more authentic because you seeing what made the frustrated game reviewer. You now it all makes sense. I'm telling you the stories that went on in my life years before YouTube that led to this. So like that's why I wanted to do these little live streams, because I wanted people to just know who I am, before just trying to watch the videos, because I feel like my personal life is just as interesting as the videos. Because sometimes you'll never know who's behind the camera, but everybody don't want to reveal themselves like that. I notice a lot of these guys in their live streams, they don't be saying nothing personal about their life. They don't really talk about nothing else that's besides video games. They only talk about little video game related stuff, and that started to make me wonder, well, who are you personally then? Like, are you somebody that I could really deal with or rock with like that off the camera? And a lot of the times you wouldn't want to rock with none of these people, to be real, because they probably lame. And then they fake. They only want your attention so they can get your subs and your viewership to just keep getting them money. Yeah, you said the trap mini fall too is making a chore. Most certainly, yeah. And like I said, I never looked at this like it was like a job. Like, when I first got into this, of course I was thinking like, man, yeah, I want to, try to do this and expand it and become very good at it and become on AVGN's level. Because like I said, that's why I started making those DVDs. I made those DVDs at the end of 2011. I remember it was right before I started working on Alice Kid. Because I remember I got my DVD recorder, and if you notice, when I had did my the Impossible game was the last review I did when I had the camera just sitting in front of the TV. After that, I got that DVD recorder. It was right after Black Friday, I remember, and then after that, all my reviews were well produced with the DVD recorder, where I could actually show the game without putting the camera in front of the TV. And I remember that's when I redid all my episodes, and I was trying to sell DVDs at that time. And at that time I was thinking like, shit, like I was saying, like this dude AVGN is making money off of this shit. In 2011, I was seeing like this dude is making money off of this. He ain't working no job. I'm pretty quite sure. I could do this if he doing it, and that's when I started trying to go the same route that he was doing. But eventually, I just had to realize, hey, he had his success because of the time he did it, the manner he did it in, and it just struck fortunate for him. Maybe that's not the route I need to go at with trying to do this video game reviewing thing, because like I said, we in the era now where people are live streaming and you got to be more personal with them. And see, that's why a lot of people are not really fucking with the AVGN like that now, because he don't do live streams. Like he don't really do anything to be personal and up close with people like that. He still is a little bit more reserved, and that's probably because of his personality. But he don't really do that. But whereas Mike Matei does, that's why Mike Matei really has been carrying that thing going, because he still be doing live streams. Shit, I done talked to him. I done actually got questions answered by him before. So like I said, that's how you got to be. Like, you got to be actually personable with folks. I done seen him answer personal questions and all that stuff. So I gotta admit, like, that's how you gotta do it now. Like, you gotta be making reviews and stuff, but you also gotta be more personable with folks with this live stream, and just having content out. I mean, shit, I just saw somebody in this chat earlier. I never had even seen him before, Alex. But it'd be more folks that be joining in, and on the little chats and stuff. They see me live. Shit, sometimes I could go live and not even have to be playing the game. I could just be on here talking. That's honestly what I would rather do a lot of times. Just get on here and talk than have to just play a game all day. Sometimes I can go live and I need to talk. That's honestly what I would rather do a lot of times. Just get on here and talk. I can just play a game. Yeah, same here. It's been guys like you, Donovan Bird, and a couple of more people on here that I've been knowing for years. Like I said, Donovan Bird was my very first subscriber. I remember. He was subscribed on my damn quarterback club video. Like this dude, like I said, this dude was making reviews back then. He was making reviews just about really damn near all the same Sega games that I was doing. And like I said, I was just trying to network with people that was like I saw around my age that was doing the same stuff I was doing. I was trying to build a community of us back then, you know. And of course, people got older and they got, it went on, got grown and had, their own lives going on and stuff. So some people continued the game reviewing thing, and some people, just probably just went on to do other little stuff. But I know when I first got into this thing, I knew it was gonna be a lifelong journey. Cause like I said, I saw the success AVGN had off of it, and I know my skill and my talent. So I'm like, nah. I knew once I made that quarterback club review, I said that, yeah, you pretty much gonna have to continue doing this. Like, this ain't just gonna be a one-time deal with you. Continue doing this. Like, it's gonna be a one-time deal with you. But I gotta say though, like I said, I feel like a vampire. Like the older I get, the younger I really do feel, and I don't feel like I'm aging when it comes to like this reviewing thing. I feel like the more reviews, the older I get, and the more reviews I put out, the better they gonna get. I really do feel that way, man. I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to like this reviewing thing, I feel like the more reviews, the older I get, and the more reviews I put out, the better they gonna get. I really do feel that way, man. I'm not gonna lie. The older I get, and the more reviews I put out, the better they gonna get. I really do feel that. I feel like my reviews are getting a lot better. Like I said, especially now. Because I've seen what works for me and what doesn't. Like, I notice whenever I have other people in my reviews, they don't really turn out to be as funny as I want them to be. When I try to give them more of a dominant role in the review, like I did with Jimmy. Jimmy is the only person that kind of can make it a little funny when I give him a dominant role in the review. But I noticed when me and Kelvin did the review, it didn't really turn out to be as funny as I wanted it to be. If you remember my Super Sidekick review and my Burn and Fight review, those reviews weren't really as funny as I wanted them to be honest. And I think I paid for some views for Burn and Fight, but I wasn't all that satisfied with the reviews like that because they weren't really as funny as I wanted them to be. Because I was trying to implement somebody else in the script, as opposed to when I'm doing it myself. I could create my own characters and play them. Like, I could play the DeMarco, the Kudrow guy. I could play Lukeman. Lukeman actually is my favorite character to play. Shit, Lukeman, like I said, he was first introduced in that Eternal Champions episode. He was the voice then, and then he went from that to the World Heroes episode, and then the what was that game? The Judge Dredd episode, and then I brought him back in the that was the first appearance he had. That was in the Maximo versus Army of Zen game. That was the first appearance he had, because that's when I was able to use the green screen. But I don't know. I just had created that character off the top of my head and just roll with it. And I noticed every episode I have him in, they always end up being one of my favorite episodes. Every episode I have them in, they always end up being one of my favorites. Hell yeah. Yup. Yeah, I don't feel like I age at this stuff. I'm not even gonna lie. And I will say I'm glad I'm not one of those reviewers, like, because I remember I was on Encyclopedia Dramatica one time, I think is what it's called, and I was looking at yeah, I remember I was on there, and I saw that they had like a list of all these game reviewers on there, and they had this guy that I used to talk to named NC17 on there, and I actually, his reviews actually weren't that bad, but he kind of bit off of the AVGN a little too hard. I mean, this dude literally had the striped shirt, the glasses. He said the same, one-liners that AVGN used to say and everything. But his reviews actually were funny. But I remember, man, they ripped this dude apart on that fucking website, man. They had all these images of him looking weird and shit. Him and Silent Rob, I remember. They had images of Silent Rob looking all weird and shit. I'm like, man, I was thinking to myself, man, I hope I don't ever get destroyed like this on the internet, man. Like, they had them dudes looking bad, boy. I'll never forget that. I was thinking, like, man, I hope I don't ever end up on this fucking website. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I don't be trying to brag, and I don't be trying to make it seem like, I'm just biased or anything like that. But I really do be feel like, man, out of all these dudes, like, yeah, they reviews ain't touching mine. Cause like I said, when it comes to like being informative, when it comes to being comical, cause like I said, I studied that guy AVGN's videos. I studied his videos to the T. Before I even made Quarterback Club, I literally watched about his videos about 1,000,000 times before I had made Quarterback Club. So I was studying like what is making his videos so watchable. Cause I'm thinking like I can watch his videos whenever. It don't matter what mood I'm in. I could be mad as hell. I could be sad as hell. It don't matter. I can always watch his videos, and that shit will always be entertaining and always be funny to me. And I was wondering, why is his videos so entertaining, but these other dudes' videos I'm watching, they don't hold my attention that long. And the reason why is because I was studying the elements to what made his videos funny. And what it was is that his videos are informative. They're personable. He always tells his personal tales and stories with these video games. They're funny, of course. His script is well written, and then of course the advantage he has is that he's a video productionist, so the videos are produced well. And that's what I always try to stick with when I make the videos. I always try to make sure that script is written well, the videos is produced to the best of my abilities of what I'm able to have based on the technology, and that it makes sense, and that it's informative at the same time. And I try to stick to that format. I've been sticking to that format ever since I started these reviews. And I really realized that a lot of these guys out here that do this reviewing thing, they don't know how to write a good script like that. They may know how to produce a good video, but the script that they write don't really be all that funny, and it's not all that informative. That's why they bite off of the AVGN. They just literally take the same lines and shit that he say, and they just write it into their script. It's like, I've never bitten off of anything that dude said. Literally everything that be coming out of my mind that I be writing on the script, that shit be literally coming out of my mind as I'm playing the game. That's literally matter of fact, one day I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna show a making of the Frustrated Game Reviewer. I'm gonna show y'all like how I make my episodes and stuff. Like, I'm gonna show y'all the whole process of how I do that shit. I'm gonna show it. I can't do it, of course, with me showing it. I'm gonna have somebody film me, but I'm gonna show that shit one day. Yeah, those drama sites, yeah, they will, man. They'll snatch you up real quick. As a matter of fact, I saw myself on a drama site one time. Well, it wasn't like a drama site, but it was like a bulletin. I remember a couple of years ago, I was like, man, let me just search my name and just see what I find. And I typed in frustrated game reviewer. And I remember on somebody's bulletin, they had said they had my quarterback club review on there, and they was like, yeah, this guy's funny, but he curses way too much. And then somebody on there, I remember, had said that I was the black video game nerd. I remember they was like the hood rat game reviewer. I remember somebody had said that on the bulletin. But I remember somebody said that they was like that my videos were funny, but I cursed way too much, and I did. I was using way too much profanity unnecessarily back then, because I was still trying to figure out, what my niche was. I was still trying to figure that out. It's almost like what a rapper, like like when the Migos came out. It's like the Migos sounded like Gucci Mane when they came out, but after a while they developed their own sound. That's pretty much what I was doing. I probably was sounding like AVGN, using a bunch of profanity, but I was developing my own style at that time, basically. And now I think I got it. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody would agree on that. That's why I don't mind being the underdog reviewer. I'd rather be known. I'd rather be like known to be good to a lot of people that don't really know about me like that, as opposed to me being like the irate gamer where I'm known, but it's like everybody's like smashing on him. It's like when he came out with that little review, that cross review with him and the AVGN, it's like you could honestly tell there was an attempt to try to like soothe everybody's like really drama and tension that they had with him in the AVGN all these years. But you could tell when AVGN participated in the review that he didn't even give a fuck. It literally looked like he just got some clips that he recorded and just sent to him, and that was it. It didn't even really seem like he even had any input in it like that. I'm not gonna lie, that review was bad. That was like one of the worst things he could have did, honestly. Like it really made it seem like they really did have a beef. And his reviews never were really all that fun. His older reviews were decent. They never were really all that funny like that to me. They didn't really hold my attention. I did notice that he used the special effects in the editing to really like lure most of his audience. But like I said, I'm a creator, so I look at all the elements that's involved in what's going on, and I just noticed his writing, his acting was a little bland. His writing was a little dull and and uncreative like that. I just didn't really find him all that funny, honestly. But he got all them subscribers, sold DVDs and shit. He ate good off of this shit. Yeah, I got it's like the most humble. Yeah, we got to be the most humble, but I gotta admit I'm humble, but I also like to admit the truth as well. And I know good and well that out of all these reviews I've seen online, yeah, I got to admit, I'm making it very difficult for them. That's why I'm not putting out as many reviews as well, because for all the reviews that I do put out, I'm gonna make them very hard for people that have been doing this to compete with these reviews that I'm dropping. That's why, like I said, Death Trap Dungeon, Sergeant's Heroes was a good review, but like I said, I reviewed that mainly because that was one of my childhood favorite games. Like a lot of people probably didn't like that game, but that was like one of my childhood favorites, so I had to review that. Like I'm gonna review Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark was also one of my childhood favorites, but I'm gonna review that later. But like I said, the reviews I'm gonna be putting out now, it's gonna be very hard to compete with, and it's gonna be like atomic bomb. So That's why I'm like putting out as many reviews now, because I know the ones I put out now, they gonna be straight atomic bombs. So yeah, a lot of these people that are doing their reviews, like they don't have no choice but to acknowledge me and you, Alex, cause like I said, you know, if I'm going to the top, I'm taking you with me, man. Cause shit, you been here the whole time, man. So we going to the top together. So I got to admit, man, for these bombs that I'm gonna be dropping now, I ain't gonna lie, man. They don't have no choice but to acknowledge some of these reviews. Cena, I'm gonna make them acknowledge Cena. They ain't gonna have no choice. Yeah, they ain't gonna have no choice but to acknowledge Cena. And Vice City Stories is gonna be one of the funniest reviews ever. So yeah, like man, I can't wait. Yeah, half bits reviews were interesting. Yeah, but you know, a lot of these guys probably disappeared because they started to realize they had to start going live and they had to become more personable, and they drowned out. You know, another guy. You know, another guy who made good reviews too was on Aqua Long Game Reviews. But I noticed he kind of has come back, but ain't nobody really interested in him no more because, you know, like I said, it's a different era now. Now you got to be more personable. And now that people can kind of see these people aren't really all that interesting like that, it's already somebody else that done came out that done gravitate their attention. So it's like now, you know, these guys not competing. They not competing with the new era. Gravitate their attention. So it's like now, you know, these guys not competing. Yeah, like that's what I try to do. I try to cover games that nobody talks about. I try to cover games like the most obscure game that nobody that's what I noticed AVGN did, because I'm like, dude, when I would look at his reviews, I'd be thinking to myself, I never knew they made a game for Rambo. I never knew they made a game for Friday the 13th. And see, that's what I be trying to think, like, what game can I review that's really interesting that I'm sure not many people played, but I can review it and talk about it and make it more interesting than what it really is. Like I said, like I noticed that with Bad Boys Miami Takedown, I got so many people probably to purchase that game since my review. That probably drove the Crave Entertainment sales up. They probably were getting sales off of my review. So I'm like, yeah, like, you know, I mean, like that shit probably that shit probably helps them folks out a lot with me doing these reviews. That shit probably helps them folks out a lot with doing reviews. Yeah, don't nobody be thinking about these games though, like Bad Boys Miami Takedown, Xena Princess Warriors, Scorpion King. Scorpion King came out 20 years ago. Ain't nobody thinking about that game for GameCube. But they probably was thinking, like, when they saw the video, like, wow. They probably thought back when they was a kid, 7th grade, like I said, 5th grade or whatever. And then they remember when they were that age and they were playing that video game. So then they start to remember it, and they start seeing me talk about it. And they'll be like, damn, like his video is pretty funny. This dude's talking about something that I actually played, because I forgot I rented that one Saturday when I was with my dad or something like that. And then people start remembering that stuff, you know, and that's where I get them at. Because I played these games growing up too now, so that's why I review them. So I think that was a part of me just wanting to be, you know, real adventurous. I was always wanting to explore stuff. So, like I was telling you, like how we were going in that sewer and going in that little area where all those bushes and stuff were. I was always like that with everything, video games. So I always wanted to try the video games that nobody was playing, because you'll never know what's good. Like, you know, like something like this. So I always wanted to try the video games that nobody was playing. You Game Dingo, I've actually never heard of him. Yeah, I grew up with Bad Boys, like, you know. I don't know, man. It's funny. It's funny how these games create this kind of community. You know, it's just really funny how our experiences were all the same. Cause I remember playing these games, sitting like I said, sitting at home on Saturdays when I didn't feel like going outside that day, downstairs in my old living room. Shit, trying to beat these games. Like I said, when they were new, being mad as hell, yelling at the TV. I remember that. This was in 2000, 2001, 2004. If you really want to go back in the day, playing Sonic and Phantom 2040, Road Rash back in the 90s. Shit. We were in Stratford Artist and we was in my old apartments. Me and my brother sitting on our bunk beds playing Sonic on the old school CRT TVs, one of the old ones though. Got that shit hooked up on the RF switch with the antenna. That's how we used to play the Sega on channel 2. It was either channel 3 or channel 4. We used to play it on channel 3. It was either channel 3 or channel 4. We used to play it on channel 3. Oh yeah, most definitely. Movies, TV shows, video games, you know, based on other video games. Shit. But growing up, I did not know that they made a video game for Rambo and for Friday the 13th. Because like I said, the NES was before my time. I didn't know crap about that. I only knew about stuff in the 90s. Now in the 90s, it was Genesis, PlayStation, and N64. Anything before that, you know, I didn't know too much about. I'm flattered. You feel like my reviews are the best on the internet. I'm flattered by that, cause yeah, that actually motivated me to want to make more reviews now. Like it's like, damn, I need to put out another one because I gotta prove it. Cause I feel like I gotta prove that. You know, like I said, that's just a part of me always challenging myself. Like, I kind of have that. I kind of have like that. What's the term for it? It's more of like a Russian roulette type of attitude, but it's like I'm always like challenging myself and like telling myself like, you know, nah, you really didn't do that as good as you could have done it. You could have done it like this, you know. But I really feel like I gotta prove that, cause I be feeling that to myself too. I be feeling like, you know, some folks probably saying that shit. You really are dead out here. Shit, cause you ain't put out a review in what, a year? So Shit, some folks probably saying that you really done fell off. I be really telling myself that. Need to come out with another good game review. Some folks probably saying that you really done fell off. I be really telling myself that. Yeah, games do bring generations together. They do. Yeah, games do. Yeah, like, cause like I said, I got to admit, whenever I think about my favorite video games, I always think about the 16-bit era because I played video games mostly during that era. After that, I will admit, video games got to be really expensive, and I couldn't afford them like that. Like I said, the Nintendo 64 games and PlayStation 2 games, especially PlayStation 2 games, man, it's like, yeah, like I was only able to get but so many of them at such, such a short period of time because they were too expensive. So the games I had to stretch them. I had to play them same games over and over and over and learn them, and then like I said, by the 2000s, all those Sega games had became cheap, so I was able to get a lot of them. But yeah, man, video games just got to be expensive after the Sega era. Look at them now. Look how you now you paying $60-$70 for a game, and you still only getting like a quarter of the game. I used to think by just paying $60 for a full game, that was too much. $60-$70 for a game, and you still only get like a quarter of the game. I just paid $60 for a full, that was too much. Yeah, I agree. Pete, you said PS2 and 16-bit era. I would say mine probably now in 2021. It would be the 16-bit era and the PlayStation 1 era. I'll admit that I think I like the PlayStation 1 era better than the PlayStation 2. 16-bit era and the PlayStation 1 era. I'll admit I think I like the PlayStation 1 era better than the PlayStation 2. Don't get me wrong now. We had San Andreas, we have Resident Evil 4, you had Gran Turismo, you had too many games on PlayStation 2. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know that I've been playing a lot of PlayStation 1 games these last 3 or 4 years, and I've been really enjoying those games. I'm not gonna lie. I've been really enjoying them PlayStation games. About 3 or 4 years. I've been really enjoying those games. I'm not gonna lie. I've been really enjoying the PlayStation games. Like some of them, I really wish I could have played at the times. But it's like the PlayStation 1 era came so fast. It seemed like to me, because it's like 1 minute it was out, and then next thing you know, the PlayStation 2 was out. It's like it came and went so fast. Out. And then next thing you know, the PlayStation 2 was out. It's like it went so fast. Yeah. A little bit of woozy. Yeah, I probably about to call it a night here. It's a dam that I'm supposed to explore next. It's supposed to be like 3 dams actually. I had already started going through this first one, but I need to probably just level up a little bit more before I go back in there. But I'm probably just gonna jump on tomorrow. Hopefully I could get on a little earlier so I could, play a little bit longer. Well, yeah, I'm probably about to go and get off. I'm about to fall asleep. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. But appreciate you for joining, Alex. Yeah, to try this a little bit later, but I'm out.